Okay, hello again. I've got people with stiff bodies and myself included, so we're gonna do a little practice today, just kind of get right into it. Some standing stuff, some seated poses, and there is a lawnmower. Hopefully that won't distract the sound too much, but hope you guys are doing great, staying healthy, staying safe, and thank you for being here. My name is Stefanie. Start seated in a comfortable position. Grab some props if you have them, your mat, your blocks, a strap. If not, just take a seat and just come into this space. Let's just start grounding down our energy, coming into this moment and being in the now, letting go of all the other stuff. Take a few deep breaths. Sit up really nice and tall. Broaden across your collarbones. You can be in any comfortable seat, cross-legged, or like myself. Good. Let's take a couple of ear to shoulder moves. Just gently moving the head side to side. Doing anything that feels good here. Little movements in your neck. Let's bring the hands behind us. Interlace the fingers and just reach that little stretch here. Take a breath. Maybe you take your head ear to shoulder again on each side. Good, coming back to center. Take the arms up overhead, interlace the palms, flip them up to the sky, and soften those shoulders. Good, and exhale and release those hands, roll those wrists out. Making prayer position, maybe you just bring those hands towards the belly button, slowly lowering down, getting a little stretch in the wrists. Nice deep breath. Good. We're going to come right to our cat and cow. Hands and knees. Wrists underneath the shoulders. Spread your fingers nice and wide. We'll just take a few of these and then we're going to move right to our downward facing dog in a few moments. Good, and sit back into your child's pose, big toes touching, knees wide, let the head come to the earth, let the hips release, breathe here. And walk those hands forward so that the elbows are lifted up off the mat. Spread your fingers really nice and wide, tuck your toes, shift your hips up and back, find that first downward facing dog and pedal out the feet here. I'm going to come high up onto my tippy toes for a breath. I'm going to keep pressing the floor away, hips moving towards the back wall, and then I'll work those heels towards the earth. Let the head and neck release. We're going to walk your feet forward to your forward fold. Open up your legs a little bit wider than your hips. Grab opposite elbows and bend your knees. Bounce, dangle, sway. Just as we did before, bring the hands behind you, interlace them, reach them up to the ceiling. Breathe. Release the hands, begin to straighten those legs, and slowly roll all the way up. Hello. How are you doing today? Bring your hands to your heart. We're going to do a few half sun salutes. Inhale, open up and lift. Reach up, exhale, and fold. Little bend in those knees. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Fingertips come to the floor or press hands to shins and find that nice flat back. Keeping the head in line with the spine, bringing chin to chest. Exhale, lower down. Sweep the sky, reach up, rise up. Hands to your heart. Good. A couple more like that. Inhale, reach and rise. Fold forward, dive down, little bend in the knees. Inhale, lengthen fingertips to floor or hands to shins. Exhale, fold and release. Sweep it up, reach up, rise up. Hands to your heart. Oh yes, I can feel it in my arms. I've been gardening. Inhale, reach and rise. Exhale, fold forward, dive down. Inhale, lengthen halfway, reach. Exhale, release. Sweep the sky, reach up, rise up. Hands to your heart. Good. One more. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold. Sweep the sky, reach up, rise up. Hands to your heart and breathe. Good. Bring your hands to your hips. Let's open up the feet really nice and wide. Taking your right leg, turn it towards one edge of your mat. And back toes are going to turn towards the front edge also. We're going to bring our heel in line with our back arch. Take those arms nice and wide, and we're going to just bend that front leg, knee on top of ankle. You might walk those feet forward to get your knee on top of your ankle. Reach here, look forward over your front fingers, palms facing down. Breathe, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. We don't want this knee to collapse inward. We want to keep it open and straight towards that second toe. Keep rooting down into that back heel, back leg, and breathe. And straighten the leg and rebend. See that the shoulders are right on top of the hips. We don't want to be reaching forward. Shoulders on top of the hips. Good. One more breath here. And straighten the legs. Bring your hands to your hips if you want for a moment. Shift the hips back. Reach, reach, reach. Bring that hand down to the shin and top arm to the sky. Let's keep a tiny bend in this front leg. A little bit of micro bending there. Triangle pose. Trikonasana. Bella likes yoga too. She wanted to come say hi. Take a breath here. Gently look down, bend that front leg, press to stand, find your warrior and breathe into this space. Good. Bring your hands to your hips, straighten that front leg. Bring both feet towards the center and then take that opposite foot back. Now it's at a 90 degree and this one's going to turn towards 45. Heel in line with arch. Bring those arms up and I'm going to wiggle my toes forward, get that knee right on top of my ankle. Breathe into this space. Look out over those front fingers, palms facing down, knee tracking forward. There's a lot involved, but you can do it. Soften the shoulders. Straighten that front leg, shift the hips back, reach your front hand forward, place it on the shin, top arm to sky. Tiny bend in this front knee. Head can be anywhere you want, looking straight ahead, looking down, maybe looking to the sky. What's best for you, honor your body. Good, look down, bring your hand to your hip, bend in that front leg, warrior two, breathe. Bring your hands to your hips, straighten that front leg. Bring both feet to parallel. We're gonna inhale, reach the heart up, fold forward with a flat back, bring hands to the floor. If you have your block, you can use your block. Let the head and neck release, breathe. Maybe you take those hands behind you, interlace them to the sky. You can heel toe the feet a little closer if they're too far apart. Gently release, bring the hands, fingertips to floor, find your heart reaches towards the front, flat back, hands to hips, come up with a flat back, high. Heel toe those feet back together and breathe. Bring your feet all the way together, doing a balance pose here, bring your hands to your hips. We'll move into tree pose, Trikonasana. Big toes are touching. We're rooting down into the left foot and open up the right toes. You can place that foot right on your ankle and breathe in this space. Maybe you find your calf. Please avoid your knee always. Maybe you reach down and find your thigh. Hands to your heart. And when you're ready, take arms up and overhead and breathe. We're pressing one foot into the leg, one leg into the foot. Rooting down and reaching up. Use a nice solid deep breath. If you want to make it a little harder, maybe the hands come together, maybe the gaze goes higher. If not, that is perfectly acceptable and lovely. Gently coming out of it as we came in, let it go, shake it out. And let it go, it's a tree and it's swaying in the wind and it does not matter. Hands to your hips, coming to second side. Toes are touching. Rooting down into that opposite ankle, foot, and heel to ankle. Breathe into this space. Take it wherever you're going to take it. Maybe you keep it on the floor. Maybe you bring it to the calf. Maybe you find that thigh. Please avoid your knee. Hands to your heart and breathe. Nice deep breathing, and when and if you're ready, take those arms up to the ceiling. Hip bones are pointing forward. Pressing a foot into the leg, leg into the foot to help with stability. And take a tiny bit deeper. Maybe bring your hands closer together. Maybe the gaze goes higher. Beautiful. And gently and slowly make your way out of it and let it go. Yes, shake that out. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's do this little side to side, standing twisty thing. Oh, it feels so good. I just love it because I have a tight lower back, I guess. And I like to move my feet when I do this, but you can keep them stable if you want. I like to get all involved, side to side. Let's take those arms up a little bit and reach and reach and reach and reach and side to side. Reach and reach and reach and good. Let it go, shake it out. We'll take a step back with our right foot. Make sure these hip bones are pointing forward. Inhale, reach your heart up, and exhale, just hinging right here, halfway, flat back, tiny bend in that front standing leg so as not to dump into our knee joint. Head in line with spine, maybe bringing the chin closer to the chest. We're holding this pose right here and breathe. You can stay right here, or maybe you bring those fingertips to the floor, or I don't think you have your blocks right nearby, but if you did, you could use those. So staying for another breath, or bring the fingertips towards the floor. Breathe into the space. Let the head release a little bit. Good. Bend that front leg, press to stand, root to rise, and come back to the top. Let's take a couple of steps here, big ones, high ones, lift those knees. And switching sides, we're gonna take that left leg back. Hip bones are pointing forward. Inhale reaches your heart, exhale and hinge. Tiny bend in that front leg. Breathe. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you find those fingertips reach towards the earth. Getting a little bit deeper stretch, but both stretches are very good. Maybe even harder to stay halfway. One more breath. Bend into that front leg, root to rise, press to stand and come back up and take those big steps one more time. Big high steps, lift, lift, lift. Good. We're gonna come right down onto the earth actually. We're not gonna do a whole bunch of standing poses. So bring your bum to the floor, sit up really nice and tall, plant these feet down onto the earth. Bending those legs, planting those feet. We're gonna find that nice flat back, sit up really nice and tall. Bring one arm forward and then the other and breathe. We can bring one leg up. We may stay right here. If you want to take it more, both legs come up and breathe. We may stay right here. We might straighten those legs. I do this Barbie doll toe where the big toes joints are touching. I point and I just flex those toes back. That helps me access my core. Breathe wherever you are. One more breath here and set it down. Give yourself a little squeeze. Good. Open up the feet a little bit. Sit up onto those sits bones, very tall, flat, long, straight back. Reach your arms forward. Maybe you bring that opposite leg up and you hold halfway here. Maybe you take both and breathe. Maybe you straighten your legs, Navasana, boat pose. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And gently release and give yourself a squeeze. Good. One more like that. We will add on a little bit. Opening up your feet, sit up nice and tall, bring your arms forward, one leg comes up, maybe both. Maybe you straighten and breathe. We're gonna lower down, lower almost all the way. So just the shoulders are lifting and the legs are lifting. Hug it in, bend those knees, bring it back up. Good. Take that straight, lower it down, pull it back in. Good. Bend those knees. Breathe. Once more, twice more. I don't know. Pull it in. Good. Lift, lift, lift. Lengthen, lower, hug it in. Oh, hello, my little core. Reach, reach, reach. Lower it down. Pull it in. Good. Let's do 2 more. Lengthen, lower, pull it in. I don't even think I do this many in class, but you can cheat here. Lengthen, lower, pull it in, and give yourself a squeeze. Really nice. Good. We're going to open up the feet as wide as the hips. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to reach those arms forward. Find that back flat. Navel draws in. We're going to lower almost a third. Another third. We're going to come almost to the earth. Shoulders are lifting. We're keeping these feet planted. Lengthen and lift up to the sky. Ah, yes. We're going to lower a third. Lower a third. Come onto the low back, keep shoulders lifted, plant those feet into the floor, lift it back up and breathe. Good, how many should we do here? Lower it down, lower it down, lower it down, pull it back up, hello. 2 more, lower it down, lower it down, lower it down, pull it back in, keep those feet planted, once more, good. A third, a third, a third. Pull it back and give yourself a squeezy squeeze. Good job. I mean, you know, spring is here, summer is upon us. Find those little core muscles, they're in there somewhere. Good. Let's come forward. Bring those feet out. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, reach your arms up. Oh, let those hands come down anywhere, your feet, your shins, it doesn't matter. Hey, sweet baby. Breathe into this space and let it go. Forward fold. Hi. Hey, babe. Melting and releasing. Gently sitting up, bring the soles of the feet together. Sit up nice and tall. Again, finding those little sits bones here, lengthening, broadening. I want you to feel like you're lengthening rather than rounding, and gently inhale, exhale, hinge, hinge forward, wherever you go. And if you don't go far, that is perfectly fine. Hi, baby. Breathe into this space. I like to walk my hands forward a little bit. You can or you don't have to. Good, sitting up, bring those legs in. Let's find our way onto our back body. Give yourself a squeeze, hug your knees into your chest. And release your head and back to the floor. Let's take your right knee in and left leg either planted flat on the floor right here, bent, or straight in the leg, toes point to the ceiling, left thigh anchors to the earth. 2 options right here. Hug the right leg in. If you're anchoring this left thigh down, try to imagine someone was sitting on it, getting that thigh touching the earth as best you can. Maybe you take your right leg, extend it to the sky, interlace. Uh-oh. Belle, come here, Bella.
She's right in the way.
I think she likes to sit in the window here. Sorry, baby. Oopsie daisy. Good, breathe into that space. Oh, yes. Right leg up to the sky. Flex that foot. And breathe. Good. Hug both knees in. Give yourself a squeeze. Left leg is in this time. Right leg is either going to be planted and flat on the floor, bending the knee. Or reach that leg long. Toes go up to the ceiling. Hug the left knee in. Anchoring this right thigh onto the earth if you have the leg straight. Maybe you straighten this left leg to the sky. I'm interlacing my hands behind the leg and flexing my left foot. Breathing deep. Good. Hugging both knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze, maybe head lifts. It's finding that figure four. Right ankle crosses over top of the left foot. Flex this right foot. Reach through the hole and around the left thigh. Interlace your hands behind your left thigh and draw that leg in. As you do, take your right elbow, press the right leg away. Pushing and pulling. Figure four. Breathe. One of my favorite poses here, lengthening in the back and stretching through the hips. I like to roll my ankle out. You can or don't have to, it's up to you. And gently switching sides, your right ankle is going to cross over top of, left ankle, I don't know what I said, crosses over top of the right foot and flex this left ankle. Reach through the hole. Hug your right leg in. Interlace your hands behind that right thigh. Press your left elbow into your left leg and press that leg away. So there's a pushing and a pulling. Breathe into this space. Nice flat back. Good, gently releases the bind, bringing the feet, planting them right underneath of you. We're going to do a twist. There's a couple of options. If you have a favorite twist, just do that. I have my feet planted underneath of me, and it's a little awkward if you don't know how to just lift up the hips and shimmy them over to the right so you're off center. Hug these knees high up into the belly and then let them fall to the left. Opening up your arm and maybe your head looks to the right. Release into this twist. Softening. Gently come back to the center. Plant the feet right underneath of you and level out the hips so that they're neutral again. And then lift them up. Shimmy them to the left and hug the knees high up into the body. Let them fall to the right. And let yourself look over to the left if that feels good. Breathe into this space. Melting here, softening here. Gently come back to the center, level out those hips. Let's take your feet as wide as your mat now. So keeping the legs bent, open up the feet as wide as your mat and let those legs tick-tock side to side, back and forth, back and forth. You should feel this, in the side body, into the sides of the hips. A beautiful release, hopefully. If there's anything else that your body's craving, feel free to grab that now. I'm just going to take my legs up to the sky, pointing and flexing. Just finishing up what you're doing if you're doing anything. I'm going to take a happy baby, grabbing the outer edges of the feet. Let the legs splay open. If that's very intense for you, just bring the hands to the shins. Happy baby. And we're going to move into our final resting pose. So shifting those hips underneath of you. Let the legs come long and splaying out. Shifting those shoulder blades underneath of you. Palms down by your sides, palms facing up. Maybe you bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Close your eyes. Begin to settle into this space. Begin to melt into the earth and soften. Thanking yourself for coming to the mat today. For doing something that's challenging. Just getting online and taking a yoga class online is challenging. Bringing your breath in line with your body, connecting with your heart, all of that. Having the gratitude and the love and compassion for yourself. Nurturing yourself in this time when it's challenging to go out. We'll stay for just a few moments here. Shavasana. gently begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, inviting movement back into your body, or if you'd like to stay and extend your Shavasana, please feel free to stay as you are, completely comfortable against the earth. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings find peace. Bring your hands to your heart, palms towards your third eye. You can be lying down or seated. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here and have a wonderful, beautiful day. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up.